Picked a flower so lovely and bright, a red rose with sharp thorns inside. My hand is bleeding because of you. All I did was to make you happy too. All my struggles have crumbled away, my heart shattered piece by piece each day. Your betrayal has left me lifeless inside, like a wilted flower that slowly died.
Hello, and welcome to Twin Flames Between Worlds podcast. My name is Tabitha, and we have a special part 2 to our first Meet the Author interview, where it'll be special just me, narrator, and author for As Worlds Tilt for Tasneem Alam. Oh my god, I'm so excited to have you on again, girl. This is also, I've said off camera, but this is also going to be a first for me, because no one's wanted to ask me questions. And I'm so fucking pumped. I will say, before we get into this, obviously, this will be for your wonderful book, As Worlds Tilt, the first part in a duology of these. And this is going to be a spoiler warning for you all. So obviously, if you want something that's not spoiler, go to the part 1 of our, I guess, mini series for this Meet the Author thing. And also, this is going to be our first time doing this.
It will be my first spoiler interview too. I have not done a spoiler interview. I did a little spoiler meetup with my street team on release day, but yeah, not an interview.
Oh, this is going to be so exciting. But so again, spoilers, and also we're going to be explicit as fuck. This is going to be, we're going to get into it. So yes, be wary of little listening ears. Yes, wary of little listening ears, and if you don't care, be that way. So yes, it's happy to see you again. Again, sorry, you could say hi to our viewers again.
Hello. This whole time.
So this is the aftermath of at least a couple weeks since our last interview, recording wise. I guess overall, my feelings about this book were everything it hyped up to be. You know, sometimes I'm gonna be referencing Shannon so much. So hi, girl, holla. It's she wrote this. We love Shannon. She wrote this in her Goodreads, and that's why I'm bringing her up, because the marketing sometimes, we've talked about this even off camera, for sometimes with other books, I feel doesn't live up to the hype of the book.
All the time, yeah. And
it's cause for me, when I was seeing the different house sigils and seeing, I don't know, the different characters, normally in sometimes a book, those are, especially in a first book, it's not, they're kind of on the periphery, and I'm I care, but also at the same time, 5 books in, and I'm oh yeah, House Salvatore, I'm actually digging that one, instead of the ones we're focused on, right? Craving Hunter, right? But, oh god, so I agree with that, living up to the hype. I will say, when I sat down, started reading it, I think I got 24% in and didn't realize I was wait, shit. 9 p.m. It's 9 p.m. and I haven't ate anything yet. And I was wait, I'm hungry. Oh shit, I've been reading for
more pages, but also food.
I said this to Tasneem off camera, is that this is going to be my first book since Fourth Wing that I actually just sat listening to the playlist and just immersed myself fully. Because ever since doing this stuff, podcasting, ever since starting to narrate myself, it's not I don't love reading anymore, but it's sometimes hard to fully immerse myself, because I'm on I feel this deadline where it's okay, I gotta do so many pages a day, and then so many pages a day of this book, whatever. But it was because Fourth Wing, I was literally in my mom's, I guess my parents' attic, and I just had Chasing Stars by Marshmallow Guy. And I was just listening to that song over and over again whilst reading the first Fourth Wing book. So, first off, that
was goals, right?
I was hooked from the very beginning. So I feel God, favorite parts. Like, it's part of me is like, my favorite parts were like the things that like everyone loved. I think like the first shift scene was really good. Also, like the council meeting after this shift scene of just, hey, what are we supposed to do with this information? She's like, I'm right here. Hello.
Sitting right here.
But weirdly enough, or not weirdly, but I also love like guy bonding.
Yeah.
I'm like really into that shit. So it's like anytime the boys were together, without Rose.
Yeah.
I was like, and obviously they were with their crescents and everything, but mostly when they were together, it just, I don't know, it reminded me of like what I imagined with my friends, where it's like, oh, we all, in that perfect world, we all have our mates and we all have our people and we're just sitting around a campfire and just like sitting in our guys' laps and just talking and we all love each other, whatever. Maybe not as extreme as, what was, oh god, the Viara ball?
Viara Gala, yeah.
Maybe not.
Well,
maybe not
implicit.
Maybe not that. I mean, I enjoyed that. So when you said about James, though, you said something about that. Like I think in our original interview, where you were like a favorite character that you were scared of.
Yeah. Whose bad side wouldn't you want to get on? And I said James. Yeah.
And
in a different interview, but yeah.
But sorry, this is just kind of like an off. I was thinking of favorite scenes, and I don't know why this one is what I thought of.
Okay.
But James fucking Vanessa during the gala, and I was just
gala and the reunion, right? I think I loved the reunion scene with all of them.
I was just like, clutch my. I was just
like, who's around?
Doesn't care, but at the same time, I'm just sitting there like, I feel like I would just be walking by, just
yeah, on, bro.
Just for the audio listeners, I did a thumbs up. Like, least favorite parts, I guess, have to just be like anything that had to do with Nathaniel. So I told this to you in the text while I was reading this, and what was funny as shit was like the prologue. I was kind of confused because obviously you're supposed to be, but I was like, is he good? Is he bad? And I think you set that up fucking perfect. Because I was thinking, I was like, is he bad? Is he just kind of a bystander? Like, I don't know what's going on here. Yeah. And then it wasn't until, I think, like, the second scene with him, when he, like, kissed her, but then pinched her nipple, I'm like, oh, this is, like, some gross Jafar Jasmine shit that I'm, like, I don't really... I was like...
The way you said it. I just almost cringe.
And I told you as well, because for the audience, as I live in a studio apartment, and my book corner is like on the panel where like the thinnest wall to the outside. And I could just imagine some poor dude walking by and then just hearing me go, ew, what the fuck? I was like, because I think I told you, I think what my real reaction was I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no. I was like, ugh.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so since it's a spoiler review, in the first book, in the first release of Azrael's Tales, he was actually a good guy. No, if you ever get a chance to read it, Nathaniel was the guy you look up to. You know, he's the father of the shifters, so you want to believe he's good. And he was genuinely a good person. So was Isis. They were both like, you know, your beloved monarchs. And while it starts off like that in Azrael's Tilt in the re-release, and they're still considered your beloved monarchs, but we get the insider scoop, right? We get the inside backstory, what's going on behind the scenes that normal shifters are not getting, right? Because they're just seeing it from the outside, and they just think, you know, we love him, he's hot. Like he's your, you know, the ideal father of the shifters. And Isis, you know, she sacrificed herself for the world over and over again, so that's her story. Well, we don't really know that, we just think she's in prayer. And so she's like, she's she's devoted herself to prayer and worship so she can keep the evil at bay. But that's not true, is it? But that's what the shifters believe. And when Rose learns that, she's just like, whoa, what the fuck? But that's just an awakening that we all have, right? Like that we at some point in our life we're just like, wait, I have been lied to my whole life? What do you mean?
Yeah, the people,
whatever it is, but there's a moment I feel like in everybody's life that they feel like that. So that was Rose's moment.
Yeah, no, I loved that beginning setup because I think I guess, like, moving into the beginning, like, I'm a whore for a good political system. A good, like, first of all, you had everything. Like, at the beginning of the book, there's a family tree. But you're good.
I'm taking notes because these will be helpful for later.
Just looking at me with, like, this in my hand every now and then, just, like, playing with it.
Me too.
So there's a family tree at and it's for two. It's for the vampire family, and then it's for the shifters.
Yeah.
And it's like the houses and like then their people. And it was like, at first it was like I was going back and forth because I wanted to. This is why sometimes I like the physical copy, which because I get to like just to physically do it instead of.
You were technically an ARC reader, so
yeah. So I got so I'll get the physical copy, of course, but. So
I got my copy of the physical copy.
Oh, look at it!
She's so
it looks so cool though, because I especially getting the scene where you just depict the throne later on. I was like, oh, I love it. And the roses had more specific meaning than just like her being Rose when the tattoo thing, which was cute as fuck. So I like the hierarchy that's set up because it very much I wanted to know more, and obviously you have more coming up for your vampire series. But it was like, I was trying to figure out, when again, kind of the ignorance of the purpose of figuring out what these systems are. I was like, at some point, I was like, oh, it clicked that Nathaniel and Stefan were twins. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I was like, so it's okay. And then like the whole curse of the twins thing was set up, and I was like...
And then Liam saying the family name, he doesn't like when she makes a family reference.
Right. And it's like, oh my god. Because I was like, oh my god, wait, they are, but they're not.
They're centuries apart, so does that count? I feel like at that point we're all family, right? Adam and Eve.
No, that's totally... Yeah, no, see... Also, I'm a big Game of Thrones person, so like Targaryen incest is fine because it's magic based.
Oof.
Get into that incest argument. Well, people even think, kind of spoiler for a Throne of Glass thing, but people even still are like, ew, Rowan and Aelin together, and I'm like, bitches, please. They're like not even like they're like.
And I feel like if you're marrying in your own species and your own kind, at some point there's an overlap somewhere, right? Like some sort, like even just humans. If you believe in Adam and Eve and all that, like so we're all related. So what do you mean? It's gross.
Yeah. So no, I didn't. That didn't even cross my mind. I was more just like I was trying to put two and two together. Okay, these are the queens, and I was trying to figure out because part of me was like, are Isis and Lilith the same person? But I was like, they're not. It was like, and then figuring out, anyway, so there was a lot, but I was like trying to, I couldn't figure it out though. It was more like, it wasn't also, your pace wasn't too fast and it wasn't too slow. And I know probably people have like their own opinions or anything, because sometimes people like it being slower and some people like it being fast.
See, it's interesting because my alpha readers had they were split as well. Half said they loved it, that they loved all the info, they loved the info dumping, they loved the long book, all that. The other half said they said it could be shorter, that they didn't need all those details and all that. And I'm like, no, but we need the details for later books. It's necessary for the later books. It's the setup. That's just, as an author, that's my way of doing it, but of course, like as an author, it's hard to cut shit. We're not doing that ourselves. I cut a lot. I cut as much as I absolutely possibly could. Sure, where there's some details, some phrases that could have been cut out. Yes, of course, there's always something. Information-wise, it was necessary. I actually took out a lot more that I wanted to provide. So
I really don't think that there was like a moment where I felt, honestly, I would have liked more.
I wanted more of the warriors in there, like more of the warrior scenes with the crescents and the girls, like girl time and all that.
Yeah. Well, and that's also because I like the setup of those characters and I like seeing them, because I'm also like someone who likes seeing those moments, but some people don't. Like they just really do. And again,
but it's like, I don't know, because it's like, yeah, it's world building and there's the lore, there's the magic, and there's you have a character arc and there's the story arc and all that. I honestly don't follow none of that. Well, I just write, and like I personally like the quiet moments or like the girl time, the talk, like the Hemi pen talk. Like while I tied it in, was that really necessary? Did he need to have two dicks? No, but he's gonna have one. He's gonna have two dicks.
Can I just tell you, as someone who's going to be portraying Rose, you do not know how much that resonated with me. The scene of her just being like,
what do you say? This girl who wouldn't be curious. And unconscious and asleep, and it's just there. I'ma look.
And it's just like, so does
Where's
it...
the other one?
Oh my god, can I tell you? So really, a side note, we're gonna have so many of these. Side note, when she figured it out, I figured it out of like, wait, have I sucked the other dick before? Oh wait, yes I have! Okay, yeah, because this was at the top, and yeah, I had it at the same time she did, and I was like...
Yeah, I love that, because as a reader, you should. Well, that's part of in my author's note. You're experiencing it with them. So.
That was probably like the through line of the entire thing. That I was just like, okay, this is like the most me, and like every one of my fans would know this. Is that just I have like this weird fat like I'm like that person who would just poke at it and then just be like, wait, so how does it work?
I will bug you until I get to the bottom of it, because if you're not going to tell me, I have to find out myself.
Well, and I, back to sorry, because, like, that was really funny. Back to, like, what you said, though, about the group scenes.
Yeah.
But, you know what I had about the group scenes? But they had, like, significant value, because there was at some point where I go, oh, wait, they know more than she does. Mm. And I'm like, wait, how much do they know? And I was like, once I figured that out, and I was like, once I like took it in, I was paying so much more attention.
Other characters.
Wait, I will say I didn't know how I felt about Vanessa at first. Because like all of the Serpent women I was kind of like, about. And then I was like, because we're kind of supposed to. I mean, we're supposed to dislike them.
They're mean.
But then I was like, because the tea scene, it was weird. Because I'm just only bringing this up just because I was thinking about it. Mm-hmm. I didn't know how to feel about any of them, Crystal and or like Vanessa. Not that I didn't like them going forward, but I was more like, again, I think it was like that whole thing where it's like they know more.
And they knew who was cheating. That's where it bugged me.
No, you're just sitting there like,
I love you guys, but girl, where? You know?
That was fucking brutal.
But I'll also at the same time, that moment where it's their first day of training, Rose and Josh's, and she realizes that Vanessa and Crystal has seen Josh naked and fucking other girls. So it's like, as a woman, you're telling me that these girls are, to my face, siding with me, and even behind her back, siding with her, right? Like, they tell Josh off all the time. But they're also inviting him to these parties. They're also, like, he's there, and they're participating in that. So it's kind of, like, hypocritical. And it's like, how do you feel about that? Do you trust them moving forward? It's an unsettling feeling. And they're not bad people. It's just, it's their situation, and it's uncomfortable for everyone involved. Josh did this to them. Josh did this to all of them.
So I guess to talk about Rose and Josh at the start and how you, like, set it up. Yeah. I think you set it up beautifully. I thought the tension was there. Not the cheating on the scale of like 4,000, however fucking many.
4,612. We don't like that number. I had it written down everywhere, so I remembered it.
It's like, what's your body count, babe? Yeah, like.
Oh, Rose has a different body count, but.
It's, if a guy told me it was like above, I'd be like, hell no. But if it was Josh, I don't know, like, maybe. Well, only if we were mated, only.
Right.
So maybe this is like contrary to some, because obviously give me critiques in the comments if you want. Maybe it's because I've read so many of these, but I was like, you played it really well of having Rose and Josh's perspective, because like, I didn't really dislike him.
Yeah, it's hard to.
Especially when we had his perspective.
Yeah.
Especially because, like, even, like, the first scene was of him establishing that, what was it, with, like, the Den Lords? And oh god, it was with that, honestly, I remember most of the names, but that one bitch, I think it's, like, her aunt.
Susan, yeah.
Yes.
The birthday scene where he's like, I'm not your fucking child.
Yeah, and she was like, she can't be our queen, she can't be, like, whatever. It's like they wanted to get him to mate with a serpent.
Right.
And then, like, I will say, it pissed me off, though, later, figuring out that she could shift into a serpent, that I was like, so what the fuck are you complaining about?
Right.
I was like, wait, now I'm actually confused.
She wasn't a pure serpent. it's like a pure Slytherin, right? You're not a pureblood.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh god damn, they're doing the mudblood thing.
Yeah, Slytherin.
Throwing, and that's like, I don't know. I think that's something that you did really smart, throwing in those moments where it's like, I can register that because I've seen it from something else, but it's not like a direct. No, it's like it's like a theme that we all have, where it's even in society that people think that mixed race people, or even like it's a real thing.
I had a question. One of my street team members had brought up diversity in the book, and she was wondering if there will be more diversity in the future books. And I was glad she brought that up, because I said that these characters have been with me since I was 11, 12, so a really long time. So when I was doing the re-release, I could have easily, and I thought about it, changing their races, right? Because right now they're all white, pretty much. So I could have, and I thought about it really hard, but for me, it didn't feel true to their characters how I knew them for almost two decades of my life. So I didn't want to do that. So my play on diversity was the different animal forms, the shifters, the different divisions of animals and shifters that we see in the book. And we see the race war between the serpents and the wolves, right? With Rose and Josh, and Rose dealing with Serpent Nation. And that's kind of how that I played that in. Moving forward, there will be definitely a lot more diversity in races involved. I already have plans on that, so we're the issue.
I mean, so I thought you set up the Warriors and the Crescents really well. I loved Shane. I loved Eliza. Eliza was probably like my favorite woman, despite I knew and that hurt my heart so much. Her tragedy. And it was fucked up. Okay, Shane makes me wary though. I told you this off camera. He makes me wary because I'm always wary of like older brothers. Not because I think that he's bad, but knowing more and not saying anything. But also like
in the name of protection, we do a lot of despicable things, right?
Yeah, so like I was wary of him. I'm just gonna be honest. I was wary of him like the entire time, because I was like, because then when he said he also sensed something wrong with the baby but didn't say anything, I was like,
We talked about this a little bit in one of your live streams, I believe, when we were talking about Rusand and Farah.
Oh God, yeah, we did.
Yeah, and I brought that up a little bit, and because Shane pretty much did the same thing, right? Like he didn't tell Eliza, and he doesn't know if he's going to tell Eliza. And Rose is like, "Are you okay if I never tell Eliza? Because I don't want to get in the middle of all that." Like, I mean,
yeah.
Hey, her husband and her mate knew. I'm just a sister-in-law. Like, I'm gonna let him handle that. You know? Now, if Shane didn't know, then that would be a situation for Rose, right? Where that comes in, where she's like, "Do I tell her? Do I not tell her?"
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is a cop out for sure.
She's like, okay,
you're alone in this one.
Thank God I wasn't the only one. And it's like, I'm also a little bit, that's going to be something I say later, but I'm also very worried about that child, because she keeps sensing like a dark energy around him. And I'm like, I don't like that.
Remember Nigel.
It reminds me of like this, like Nathaniel doing something to the baby or something. Like, I don't even know how that would be, but okay, that's for theories. Okay. Back my main. So just to go back to Rose and Josh just a little bit before because I want to talk about them pre-shift.
Okay.
Because I really like how you set that up, her pre-shifting into a wolf for the first time, and then after. Okay. Because like it obviously sets up, and as an author, and this is me as thinking as a fan, like critiquing it. We don't even have to know all the years before. Like we don't have to like physically see it. We can even see it in that little bit of her sending the snakes to that girl. And like the random text of like, oh, like you're childish, you did this, blah blah blah. I could just feel and know their dynamic right away. How it's been for years, and you know, it's been this kind of stagnant thing. He doesn't come to events, or when he does, it's very much just for pictures and da da da. And it's like, girl, I'm gonna say this over and over again, but it hit my heart so hard.
I know, my heart's fluttering right now.
Because it makes me think about even my own experiences of just like, and again, the few of none of them, where it's like, I don't know, just feeling like we're together, but
you're not showing up.
We're not. Also, like, I feel like I'm doing my part and not like, and she brought that up a lot, where she's just like, well, I'm treating the mating bond as something serious.
Yeah.
you're not.
And
I was
he
like,
admits it too.
the boldness of just, and the fact that she does like him so much because they had like a childhood up to a certain point before they were mated and before I can't believe we haven't even brought it up yet. The fact that he thinks that she killed his brother. That they were like childhood and you talked about childhood love, how much you loved that.
I do, but I mean, I don't even know if I could really call them childhood lovers because he's 6 years older. So, yeah, it'd be a little weird. They had, I wouldn't even call it a friendship. It was more like, we know we're mates. So, like, I mean, you know, I can't touch her until she's 16 because that's the legal age for them. But by then tragedy struck, so it was a non-issue. But yeah, I mean, I think like, I would say like a crush is a good definition for what she had for him. She was also best friends with his brother, like who was 2 years older than her. So this was like your best friend's older brother. But like,
I feel like the age definitely hit me too, where it was like she feels inferior in so many ways, even though she's a princess. And even though she's mated to him, it's almost like you have all these titles, but they don't fucking mean anything.
Yeah.
Like, because it's, you're just gonna shack up with any, you know, big serpent girl with big tits or something like that. It's like in every avenue she feels inferior, whether it's her body, whether it's her age, whether it's like her experience. And it just, I was like,
whether it's her ship form,
it like fucking just hit me over and over again. And so of course that first birthday scene, I was like, yeah, this is rough. And then again, figuring out that I guess our friends, so warrior / crush, I guess I'll say them, know more about the situation and knew more about what she didn't know and what she does know.
Yeah, not all of them either. So Josh and his friends and their mates know, but Antonio, Daniel, Dania, and Mariella don't know. Sam knows enough. He doesn't know exactly what happened 6 years ago. He just knows enough to keep the media at bay because that's his job. And if anything comes up, he just runs it by Shane and Josh. Like,
Sam reminds me of that one guy in Crescent City, the tech dude, the tech bro.
Oh, what's his name?
God, I forgot. Yes.
Yeah.
Declan.
Thank you.
Got it. I know my shit.
Again.
Obviously, it's not the same thing, but like he reminded me of the tech guy.
A little bit. Sam's not mentioned much, and Azura is barely mentioned. But yeah, they'll be important in the next one.
But it wanted me to know. They were shown enough that piqued my interest. So then, of course, Josh and Rose post shift. I was like, wow. Obviously, her figuring out that she's of the warrior class. Because, she had the gray eyes the whole time.
She did?
And everyone was like, yeah, no. She's not.
Well, Liam already talked about it. He's like, people are stupid if they think anything else. He, talks about it in chapter, 5, 6?
Mm-hmm.
I should know that.
Also, sorry, I really don't want to, brush past, because I wish I could go through which is what the live stream's for. But, first of all, Liam and Rose, I totally get it. I will say that threw me off, the anal sex, but I was but I was for it. So I was all into
loophole.
Liam, bro, I'm so excited for his character. Because I'm internalizing Rose so much that's why I had the pink lighting.
Oh, it
hides it a little bit. My cheeks are just getting red. But it was so high. It was forbidden. Loving the whole Daniel knowing. Loved Daniel. Loved Dania. Oh, the secret relationship. Because I was thinking, hold up. If she can see him, Josh, have sex with all these women, and because we were in his perspective, he's like, how does she know who I've been sleeping with? So he didn't see any of that. It's interesting that she saw.
He felt it, and if he did feel, I'm still working out the kinks of that, but if he felt, which he did, because he felt when she would touch herself, so if she's having sex, definitely feeling something, or, senses something, but he would probably chalk it up to her just, touching herself, or having a fun night, or whatever. But he also was very aware that she was with Liam, so it's
figuring that out.
You think that you're not doing anything? This came up somewhere else. I forget where, but Josh does not know the extent of Liam and Rose's relationship. He knows Liam fell in love with her. He knows Liam loves her, and he hasn't had a conversation with her about it entirely, at all. But he doesn't know details of how deep it is. with them.
That's definitely going to be a problem later. Like, I'm just, that is not something I need to foreshadow. I know. It's interesting. Oh God, sorry. Like, just hold on. I had like 5 thoughts. Let me just, because that was the first thing I clocked, that she could physically see the other person and he can't. He can feel it, but can't see it. And I was like, what is it about her that makes it so that she can? And like, what?
Well, it's all crescents. It's not just Rose. All crescents can see it. So remember that club scene where it's Josh, Devon, and James, they're talking, and Devon's like, I'm gonna let you have this one, when James was talking about something that happened between him and Vanessa, and how he's like shocked that she even forgave him. We don't know exactly what happens.
Oh, okay.
But Vanessa, something happened. And so all crescents have that ability, they have that power over warriors, because Josh also mentioned that crescents are a gift from the divine to the warriors. So don't fuck with crescents. They're literally fucking gifts from the divine. What do you mean?
But it's so funny because she's also a warrior and a crescent. I mean, she's got so many fucking...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Rose is top tier. Like, Josh even at one point, I forget who said it. Sorry, my book, but... someone had said that she's almost as powerful as Shane, or as powerful as Shane, and Josh had an internal thought and said, well, I would say more than Nathaniel, or as powerful as Nathaniel, which you don't say out loud. So...
she's definitely way more powerful than him. That's why he's got her under his thumb.
Knows that. Nathaniel knows that. That's why he wants to do what he wants to do.
Just so... But... Yeah, no, because see, again, that makes me want to, like, obviously on my reread, pay attention to it more, because again, this is a first read, and I'm only picking up on, like, these first cues, and so I'm, like, excited to
book a lot of information.
get more into it, yeah, so it's like...
I only read it 300 times.
I love the idea of a whole new world order. Like, I mean, it's something in every theater production and every story, because it's like, why is the story being told now? And it's, okay... It was something that was brought up. It wasn't like when she shifted, but it was, you'll probably know more than I do, but there was a moment where, like, someone actually said it, is that whenever this happens, like, the world changes.
Oh, Nathaniel said that.
And it's like, yeah, it was during that. Because I was totally...
Paradigm shift.
And I was like, oh, thinking of her as, that's so cool. I know sometimes there's in real life, which is kind of annoying, sometimes these guys can be like, these like women warriors, like why can't they? And I'm just, bro, how many times, I get it, the anime boys hard. I'm like, how many times have you had like a male protagonist who's like the lead and he's like the savior of everyone, and it's like, you know, let's have more. I want to read more books with women who not only can be, I don't want to say young, but like, 'cause she's 18.
Oh, yeah.
So she's still young, untapped potential.
A baby adult.
God, every time I think about when I was 18, I thought I was so old. Like, I thought I was like, I knew everything, and I was like,
Right up now.
Hell no. I didn't even do my taxes at that point. Which is fucking insane. So I loved that. I loved the whole struggle with the serpents, the Vayara throne. Am I saying that right? Vayara? Vayara. Not only being a warrior, the first female warrior in history that they can't think of. I did appreciate, though, that little tidbit where they were like, maybe there was someone, or maybe they killed them off before, like, they could actually, you know, come about.
Yeah.
Because that just made me think.
Like erased from history.
Yeah. It made me think of a Fourth Wing thing where I was, not that you were using it, but more like it reminded me of that. Dude, the history can be changed. Oh, like, yeah. It really can.
And I really appreciated that about Fourth Wing because, like I said, I was a history major, so history is always rewritten by the winners, right?
Well, and that made me think about, in Coilspire, made me thinking about the library that nobody could touch.
Right.
I was like, Josh's mom, 180 IQ, dude. It's like,
Josh's parents, yeah.
Or, yeah, both. I love how I just said, fuck the dad. Her mom, yeah, his mom. But that made me think of that, because I was like, oh, there's shit in that library. Way more shit.
His dad stole those books from Cravenholt's library, which you're not supposed to do.
A man after my own heart. But seeing this, like, constant struggle, I like how, and it was going back to like how you wrote it. I love that there was a lot happening at once, but like it just resembled real life in such a very real way of like, not only is she dealing with this social construct of like these other girls who are saying shit about online and like posting stuff about her having to navigate, having to kind of, she's gonna be ruling over these girls that are being so rude to her and trying to navigate that political water, navigate.
Book 2, sorry.
Oh God, can that what? God, I forgot her PA.
That rage is real, girl.
What's her PA's name again? Not Vanessa, but the other one.
Oh gosh, what is her name?
Oh God, because I keep wanting to say, is it Celeste? Am I wrong?
Celine? No, not Celine.
Celine's.
Oh gosh, what's her name? Why am I thinking of this? She is not important.
Oh damn, because I wanted her to torture her just a little bit.
Oh, she's important in that sense. What is her name?
No, dude, she was actually throughout the book in many ways. Camille. That's why I didn't remember it. It's like the ones that are like bitches, I always remember like it's a C name. Because like I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I don't like
her name once upon a time was Selena. In the first book it was Selena.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was like, when you said Selena, I was like, close, no.
I love to get the behind the scenes as well. So I liked the like navigating so many different things, but I wasn't overwhelmed as a reader being like, oh my God, which thing is she going to tackle next? It's all happening at the same time, but they all are.
Because when has life ever hit you with just one thing and waited for the next thing to come? Oh, she's going through something right now. Let me wait on this. No, you get hit with 5 different trains at one time. So you just have to fucking figure it out. And Rose, being 18 is one thing, but she's also a princess and she was raised to rule, right? She went through these classes and whatever. She was raised a certain way to be a ruler. So her being 18, while that's young, she also grew up faster than most people, right? Because as princess and princesses, you're raised differently. I would think so.
We're queens. We're queens. Wouldn't know how princess do.
But yeah, they're raised differently. So yeah, she's 18, but she's also has all this, training pretty much. And again, like, I did that on purpose because I was told while I was, going through my alpha reads and my editors and stuff, and they were like, there's too much going on in this book. You gotta cut some stuff out. I'm like, no, life does not wait. So we're doing all this because there's the political side, there's the mate side, there's the family side, there's the social media side. We're all juggling this in reality. So like, why would I take it out of the book, especially when I want people to feel what she's going through in, real time?
Well, and a lot of them are like intertwined, like the whole Vihara thing, the whole like Bayara thing. Dear God,
I made up the word.
Yeah, Bayara, like the princess thing, the warrior thing. I mean, they kind of like intermingle. Oh God,
the memory loss thing.
Which I, by the way, fucking love the dates. That was like my other thing that I love, because like every time I would see like a gem, I'd be like, ho, what date does this say? Why is there a day different? Did she lose a fucking day? Or like, is this just a natural time skip? Because there was one where it was like, 3 days passed. And it was like, okay, so this is like a normal time jump. But then there were ones that there wasn't one. And there wasn't something that was said. And I was like, I'm curious. There was something that you said though about her as a princess that I wanted to push, because it's like back to like her as Rose and Josh. I loved seeing him fall in love with her for real, because like he had this expectation of her because he didn't really know who she was, and she only knew like the young 12-year-old version, because obviously he didn't know her. Like, he
didn't really have any expectations for her except that he didn't want to be her mate.
Or yeah, like he didn't know her I said like he had this there was some part in there, it was like at the start where it's like
the Lamas feast where he was, why can't you just be a trophy wife like all the other mates?
Or like, I thought she was like, I thought she was just a princess who was, I don't know, who always got what she wanted, and but especially during, and I'm kind of jumping, but especially during that one truth serum scene where like her dream was to say, okay, I would just run away with you and just like fuck everything and just be with you and like be with our kids. And it's like, that hurt, because it's like he really got it in real time of, she does not care about being a princess. She really doesn't.
She doesn't care about being the Vieira. She doesn't care about royalty. She doesn't care about any of the titles.
She just wants to be with him and be like with her family and her friends. And it's like, girl, me too. Me too. I mean, I always talk about it with my fans know, like if I had my own perfect world, all of my friends and like my family would live in like a little cul-de-sac, and we would just live in the middle of nowhere together.
Village, right?
Yeah, there'd be a Starbucks, there'd be like some sort of like a Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, whatever. Like around the villa, of course, because it's a perfect world. But I like seeing that shift, because then, of course, like obviously, as we get into the spicy scenes, and I like how there was a progression even there too. Him fucking her with the rattle was a little. I was not like I was weirded out by that, but I was like,
I was weirded out by that.
Why am I a little turned on by this? I don't really know how to. I've never even been into like kind of like, because I know there's some books that are like animal on animal throughout, but I was kind of like, why am I like, why do I?
You know, till this day, I still don't know how I feel about that scene, but like, I know I wrote it, and it was uncomfortable for me, because I was like, is this borderline bestiality? Because what? But in my head, I'm like, no, it's Josh. He's just in animal form. It's still Josh.
I think it would have been
That's
weird.
How I justified it.
I think it would have been weird if she was also in animal form, and like,
I think that would have been okay.
Well, no, I'm thinking
the same animal.
No, I was thinking like wolf form her. Like,
that's what works.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't work, but I don't know. Fuck. But like, okay, to be fair though, I was okay with it in the sense of.
Well, okay. On the other hand, there was consent.
I mean, obviously, yeah. Of course, this was kind of like, you know, when you did something for the first time, and you're kind of like a little bit nervous about it, but at the same time, kind of just like, well, I'm kind of into this. But then, like after, because like, I'm just gonna be perfectly transparent with the audience. There have been moments where I'm like, okay, I'd be fucking disgusted by this, and then you get into it with the right person, and then it's like. Oh, well, fuck yeah! I guess I just did that, didn't I?
Am I into this, or am I into the person? So that's why I'm in, because he's into it. I'm into it. You know, like it's the right person, right? Like there are things I wouldn't ever do with somebody else, but I would do it with one person.
Right,
that person, right?
So it's like that kind of went under the umbrella of that metaphor for me, and then of course, you know, they progress. It gets, every time it gets so more and more. And I was like saying this as like, for my perspective, first of all, I just love the fact that I get multiple scenes. Because sometimes with these books, like there's like maybe one or two like full blown scenes, and then that's it. It's more just kind of like, no, this was like what I wanted.
five good big scenes.
Yeah. And obviously, I feel like my main takeaway was something that I just want to tell you felt very close to home for me. I was actually talking about this with someone in my Uber. Like, this doesn't make any fucking sense, but I was talking to someone about this. Okay, I'm someone who's very, like, you know, because I got that neurospicy. Sometimes doing something new, too many things new, for a first, even if it's someone I really do trust, can be way overwhelming for me. And so, especially, and not that like Rose was specifically saying that, it definitely hinted at it when I was thinking about it, because it's like, I don't know, they're starting to mend this, you know, thing between them, while at the same time getting more physically intimate. And the thing is, they could have just had sex the first go, and, you know, but like, I liked the build-up. It wasn't just like I feel like a sex for sex thing. It was very much like, okay, we're gonna try this. Okay, we got comfortable with that. I try this other thing, add on to it. So I really liked that.
I could have easily done the whole have sex on the first night kind of thing situation, but Josh was struggling internally. So he was like, I want to touch her, but I don't want to touch her. You know, I can't touch her. Not touching her is torturing her, so yay. But not touching her is torturing me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like he's dealing with his own shit, and I wanted to stay true to that. At the same time, it wouldn't be fair to Rose if they just hooked up on the first night, because what do you mean? You hooked up with 4,612 girls.
I'm going to write it down too.
Girl. So like that scene when Liam's brother came in, Lucian? Oh my gosh. William is Liam. Lucian, when Lucian came in as a messenger for their father, right before they went into that throne room, she was like, I'm not one of your hookers, or don't treat me like one of your hookers, or something like that. And that was so real though, because I'm not your fucking hooker. I'm not one of your 4,612 girls. So she was also trying to stay true to that, and that scene in Romania where she's like, if you're gonna kiss me, fucking kiss me. Don't hide it. Don't do it in front of the cameras. Mean it,
Yeah.
So it was just staying true to both of their feelings. I would like to say it was hard, but it really wasn't. But just finding that moment where they come together, like their first intimate scene, that was like, I didn't want it to be cheesy, because it's her first time technically, and it's their first time together, so it had to be meaningful but not cheesy.
Yeah.
So that was a little hard to do, but the scene was easy.
No, I mean, I loved the whole Coil Spire. Them being exiled for the week was like the best thing that could have happened for their. I mean, obviously he fucked it up like immediately, but because why wouldn't he? But I even think Shane was doing that for them.
Well, from Josh's point of view, he kept saying he's not using his alpha power. He's not using his alpha power. That would be the only way Shane can ever make him obey, right? Because Shane and Nathaniel are the only ones, and maybe Eliza, have power over Josh because he's a beta. He's a beta warrior. So he's up there. He's one of the top dudes. So there isn't many people who can control him. And Shane can if he uses his alpha power, but Shane is saying one thing, but he's not making him do it. So Josh is like, does he mean it? Like, oh, confused here. But then he clocks it, and he's like, huh. And then when he finally is like, oh, well, you're exiled, and that's when he uses alpha power. It was a public display, so nobody can refute it. And Josh
Nathaniel.
So, like, he explains it later to Rose a little bit, or to us.
Yeah.
But it was definitely planned. Shane's not a bad guy.
No.
Does he do questionable things? Sure, as they all do. But he's very much on Josh and Rose's side. So.
By the end of it, I was like, okay, he's in the clear. But I was just, I was cautious. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me. Shane, okay, well, Shane's in the clear for me. Well, now I don't know what to say, girl. What do you mean? Oh, no.
How we got here doesn't matter right now, but the rest is true. Rose starts shaking her head, then scans the room until her eyes land on Shane. She pulls her legs back, and he hesitantly lets her go, seeing that the fight's left her body. She turns into me, curling so small into her ball on my lap. I hold back the relief I feel, because I know this night is far from over. I can tell Shane is communicating with her telepathically, and I wish I never told her to strengthen her shields. I wish I could let myself in right now and listen. Despite going through what she did tonight, her mental shields are solid. Whatever Shane says to her makes her body go slack. She glances at Liam, then back to me, before wrapping her weak arms around my shoulders and pulling me into her. Her soft cheek presses against mine as I feel her breath on my ear. She smells like this home she promised me, and all I want to do is take her back to Coldspire. But then she whispers, "I'm so sorry."
Girl,
so what did you say to her?
Fuck. Like, this is not, okay, I don't know what to say, because, like, now that you reread it again, I'm just like...
It's subtle, but it's there.
Is he scared?
I do that a lot throughout the book, so that's why I've been telling people, read it once, go back and read it, and then read it again before the second book comes out.
Is she scared of him, or is she more scared about... Because, like, this is not me asking, because I know you're not going to fucking tell me. But
well, this is a spoiler for book 1, not book 2.
Yeah, not for book 2, but it's like, because in my mind, like, two things are like, is she scared of, like, what she figures out in her memories? Or is she scared of it? Because, like, before he even starts talking to her, clearly she, like, shrinks in on herself physically. So is she scared of him, or is she more just scared of what she thinks she's done? Okay, hold on. I can't go into theories yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. God damn you for doing that to me. The fuck?
Well, I did just say Shane is very much on Rose and Josh's side, so.
You did, and then you immediately just fucking read me something that was just like, now I gotta, like, rethink about it. See, this is
that my street team loves me and hates me at the same time.
Yeah, this is what makes me not like you in this moment.
Well, reliable narration, right? We don't know.
Yeah, because it's Josh. Oh, okay.
And Rose. She doesn't remember shit.
Well, now she does. Before we move on, kind of like near the end of this, like, I will say the Nathaniel back and forth, I kind of brought it up at the beginning. My least favorite parts, but also at the same time so, like, important. I was like, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, there's so much jam-packed into there that I don't really know. They're trying to resurrect or they're trying to use Lilith, so Josh's aunt and her are like using their powers to like not resurrect, but like Isis, sorry, to bring her back because Josh's aunt is posing as Isis up in the tower.
Got me confused.
See, that's why that was more my ignorance. Sometimes I would like change up Lilith and Isis in my head.
Lilith, Isis, and Aradia are all sisters.
Mm-hmm. So that makes
very different roles.
That makes me think there's more to that. But like, anyway, because I really don't know at this point who's the big bad. I don't think it's Nathaniel. I think Nathaniel's just a fucking pawn for whoever. He's a pawn for whatever woman's using him, dude. Whichever one of those sisters is using him. But I will say that it definitely gave me the creep vibe. And it gave me, like, that weird, what else has he done to her? Like, creepy, rapey feeling where I'm like, has he? Like, again, that's never said. Obviously, he's kissing her, grabbing her, like, very appropriately.
Yeah, but it's also very clear that she was a virgin during the Viera Gala.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, he didn't do anything like that.
Yes. But kind of like, just kind of it gave me, like, the molesty uncle.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, I say molesty like an adverb. Oh yeah, he's just being a little molesty right now. Stay away. No, every time I'd see him again, I was just, every guy who is up in a cabin in the woods is always that guy. Why? Where is the real mountain men anymore? But so there's so much jam-packed into that. I feel like I need a second reread to actually feel like I get it more. But especially the feelings of it, I got spot on.
I think, if you start from the prologue, you see how comfortable Rose is with him, and she's very much aware in that, like, she gets that memory wiped, but in that moment, she is the mistress of darkness. So she's very aware of what's going on. She is an active participant. Even with Nathaniel sitting next to him, his arm around her, whatever, like, they're snuggled in together. And she also mentions that King Stefan and Aradia and like they've been knowing about this relationship of theirs, so it's not anything new, and they weren't surprised by it either. But as the book progresses, her feelings towards it changes as her memory starts coming back, and she's kind of like her piece things together. And then when she gets the necklaces and her memories really start coming back, then she's like, "Oh my god, hold on a second, was I cheating on Josh with Nathaniel? Like, what the fuck?" And my memories are being wiped of it. That's weird.
And as her relationship with Josh grew.
Yeah,
like,
then it got weirder, and she started feeling some type of way about it. But at the same time, she was also using it to get more information, which, I mean, wouldn't you?
Yeah, no, at this point, you're just playing the... Yeah, but that was something I really had questions about. More so as, like, something I know we're probably going to figure out later of why she was so comfortable in the moment kissing, or getting kissed by him. Because obviously she wasn't awkward about it until up to a certain point.
Right.
So I was like, ooh, does she
that
have
ties in with the deal that Josh made with Nathaniel. Towards the end of the book when he tells her about it.
God. Well, because then, again, that's something I'll bring up in my theories. But anyway, so after Coil's Fire, Rose and Josh, I think we have to talk about it. That was heartbreaking. I did not expect that, weirdly enough. It's been a while since I've actively been, like, at least a little surprised in moments. Because, like, you know, something that I would expect, obviously you're doing this in a duology, so it's not like their story is not like 3 books or anything, but it was interesting. I did not expect him to do that. Like, I expected him to maybe, like, push back a little bit, but then him saying, like, I mean, obviously we know he's lying as the reader, but then just, it's, like, so fucking frustrating of him just saying, oh, that was all just practice, that was all just training, and you failed.
Old. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like old Josh, and we're just sitting. I think I also was like her. Even a few chapters after that, I was like, "Wait, what the fuck?" I know I didn't.
Was like,
yeah. please, dear God, and obviously, especially because that's like closer to the end, and then they make up eventually. But yeah, that time period, that was hard. Even little bit
going through heat during.
She's like, God, I wish for my period back. Imagine.
Right?
No, I'd rather be fucked, but okay.
That club scene, that club night.
God damn. Girl, there's so many of the moments of the good writing of the sex that I was like, yep, this is what... I cannot write this, by the way. Because if I was a virgin writing that, it would not be the same. In my very innocent mindset. But, so I really loved that. First of all, what the fuck, girl? We get to, like, the end, and all of a sudden felt like, but not in a bad way, I felt like I was watching like an old telenovela. I was like, a woman appears out of the shadows, kind of looking like her, and I was like, okay. And then all of a sudden, I feel like they say Isabella Craving. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, wait, who's that? And then I look back and I'm like, wait, what? And I don't think I got it until like they actually told Rose, or sorry, Liam tells Rose, where I was like, fuck, this is her twin? Wait, what? I was like, so that wasn't your writing, that was my, okay, there's a lot, and I was like, wait, what?
Noah wasn't the only one who died 6 years ago. His mate did too. Now Isabella Craving is back.
So wait, is Isabella Noah's mate?
Yes.
Okay, okay. What the fuck, bro?
As far as people know, yes.
Girl, I hate you. What? Well, not this resurrected version of her. Like, no. Clearly this is some evil demon spawn. Yeah. I don't trust her, by the way. Automatic. Isabella? I don't trust anyone who was, like, resurrected, dude. It's like classic Supernatural shit. It's like Bobby's wife. You know Supernatural, right?
Oh, yeah.
Bobby's wife. Yeah, like, when they brought her back. And then I was like, yeah, I don't trust this.
Yeah, that was so bad.
Or she's gonna, maybe if she's not bad, she's gonna die really quickly. Like, who knows?
If you read Inheritance, you'll know.
I mean, I have a lot of reading for you. So
you do. I mean, you're a narrator for both series.
No, I'm so excited. And then I like even just hearing Elena's name mentioned, I was like, and I was like, Liam, here I come. So, I'm so spoiled. I get both toys. Like, okay, not only did we get the twin thing at the end, obviously there was like so many like bombshells thrown at me at once that I was. Hold on, what? Okay, so we had twin, Liam, who, again, because we don't know, or at least I didn't, the vampire lore, that he knows her memories, even the one she doesn't remember, and that he knows. I'm like, you fuck, what? And them, like, going up to, like, their cabin, I was like, I was a little bit nervous. I was like, I knew Josh was going to pop up, but I was like, are they going to be in the middle of a kiss and then he's going to walk in? I was like,
would have been a good thing. What if they were fucking? I mean, she's technically not a virgin anymore, so they totally could have.
They totally could. I don't think she would have done that.
Yeah,
But at least from the vibe she was getting, I think maybe like him kissing her would be, I feel like even Josh would be mad about that.
In the moment, lost love kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah. Because she still loves him and like that. And yeah. So I think the thing that even hit me more than Liam knowing her memories was the fact that him and Josh have been in cahoots for years. And I was like, oh! I was like, girl, what? First of all, if I was Rose, I would have been so pissed. I would have been like...
She needed to get her priorities straight real quick in that moment.
Yeah, like, that was...
I can be upset about this, or I can get my memories back first and then be upset about this.
Right. It was like, there was some... But, like, in my mind, I would be just like, were you fucking me just because you guys were working together? Like, that was my first thought. But obviously, from Josh's perspective, we see that's like, oh, he fell in love with my girl, and obviously that's gonna come into play more later. But that was my first upset reaction. I wasn't... At that point at the plot, I was just like, wait. So
if they were working together, he technically shouldn't be sleeping with his partner's girl, right? Like...
No. No, but I mean, who hasn't, like, dabbled a little bit when working? I know I have. Yikes. So, that whole ending scene, spectacular. It didn't have... It's one of those things where it's like, it had all the necessary movement and pace of how I feel like the same would be for, like, a battle ending. When that moment of things are happening, we're moving.
Everything's happening all at once.
It's like revelation after revelation, and it makes me want to read back almost immediately and be like, because I know with some books, sometimes it's like, okay, I need to digest that, and then I'll look at it a week later. No, this was a moment where I was like, hold on, I gotta look back. There was something that was like in the back of my mind that I was looking at, and I was, was this brought up here? And it's like, fuck, I can't even look at this anymore. I'm just like so baffed.
It was funny. One of my friends, when she was reading, so she was a mark reader, and she was reading through the book, and she was like, did you mean to have James say there's always something with twins? I think that's a typo. And it was in the club scene. It was very early on in the book.
Yeah, he's.
And they were talking about Rose, and James said there's always something fucking about twins, or like something along those lines. And we know right then and there that Rose is a twin.
Mm-hmm.
But he says it, and it's never brought up again, so it's like... And then it's brought up after Eliza's event.
Yeah, her
miscarriage.
Yes.
Of one of the twins. So it was brought up then, the curse of the twins. So that's when it was really said.
Mm-hmm.
But and then Josh said, "Powers like yours." It was a slip up. Like
yes.
That was a slip up. And she's like, "Yeah, but I'm not a twin."
That was the first one that I thought of. The powers like yours, because she said that in the end. Because she even brought up that own memory. I will say, what was something that baffled me more than just it was like, because I knew, obviously, looking into, or like reading your book at first, like obviously the memory loss, and then even getting like the Nathaniel stuff, that was like just scratching the surface of the stuff she didn't know. And the fact that she had her memories taken by multiple people, not only like having stuff taken away from like a day, but having almost like her entire childhood rewritten. And she's been living like this for the past, 6 years of like not thinking that she knew, not knowing that she had a twin.
Right.
That baffled me more than I feel like everything else.
Even with Noah too, because Isabella was white. Noah, she's remembered that Josh had a brother, but she barely remembered him. But they were best friends. Like,
yeah, that too.
That hurt.
Yeah.
She forgot her best friend. She barely remembered it. Can you imagine? Like, that is so heartbreaking.
Well, and I can imagine, especially makes me think about the scene you thankfully just read for us of her getting it back and just like feeling like she's just as crushed and feeling so small. To be overwhelmed with all that stuff and to be like, because then you also have the memories of the present up until a certain point, and it's like, wow, I've just lived for the last 6 years not remember any of this.
Right.
And it's like, oof, 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 oof. That's like, you know how when people talk about that in real life, when they talk about memory loss, and that's like sometimes like a would you rather question, or like would you rather not remember something, or like forget your family and friends or something else. And I'm like, dude, losing memory is like the trigger for me. No.
Yeah, I mean, just on a personal note, like I was on anxiety meds for a little bit, and I was losing track of hours in the day. I was zoned out, and it was like 3 or 4 hours later, I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like, what was I doing? Like, I had no idea. I had no memory. I was just like literally a zombie. And I stopped taking them because I was like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean? And once I started noticing that, I was like, no, hold on a second, we're not taking these anymore.
Yeah.
It was great when you need to go to sleep because you just knock out. But during the day, I was like, hold on a minute. What do you mean I'm losing time? We only have so much of it. So like people wasting time, you losing time, that's like personal. And
I've never been on meds, so I could just only imagine. Like, there was a girl in my high school who, we were all in theater, and she fell into the pit.
Oh gosh.
And she I think she lost like 5 years of her memory.
Oh my god.
This was like a real, this was real. I remember she'd talk about it and she'd be, yeah, there's just like 5 years of my life that's just missing. And I'm like, yo, no, hell no.
Yeah.
I'd be like so fucking, someone like, oh, do you remember that? It's like, no, I don't. I remember when you were, it's like very specific, like 5 years for some reason. And I was like, that also makes me think about the brain very like much in a scientific way, where it's like if you get hit somewhere, like it's not long-term memory, like it hit just for 5 years. She remembers early childhood, but doesn't remember like these specific 5 years.
Yeah, brain is so fascinating. And there was that one Scarlett Johansson movie. Do you know what I'm talking about? She was like, she had like drugs inside her, and then it blew up inside her, so her brain just like.
God, was it that one where she was like super smart?
No, she was super smart, but it was like her brain was activated because it was like Morgan Freeman, and he was like, we only use like 10% of our brain.
Oh, it was like Lucy.
Lucy, yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie.
Yeah, no, she was, yeah.
Yeah, and just like this whole, in the first book, Rose's memories were taken of Isabella and all that, but it wasn't to this extent. Like, it wasn't this deep And it was like Nathaniel was not fucking with her mind. Nobody was fucking with her mind after they erased her memory. Like, it was just that. It was a one event just to like protect her, whatnot. But this was.
Well, and I caught that too. I caught that at the end where they said like 4 warriors had to like, yep.
Because there was only 4 at the time because Sam, Antonio, and Daniel hadn't shifted yet. Had they shifted, they would have been part of that. But
I caught that immediately. I was like,
and that was the 4 of them from the beginning. So that's why they have their inner circle. It's not because they were older than the other warriors. It's because they have that trauma bond of what happened 6 years ago.
That's fucking. So I guess then moving into at least the couple of theories that I have in terms of the things that are like readily available in my mind. Yeah. And obviously you can ask me like what I think about a certain thing. Obviously, I feel like they keep bringing up Lilith as like a bad person. I feel like Lilith is that one that you were mentioning before of a bad thing throughout the entire generations, because it seems that the big bad person. How it'll lead into that, who knows? God, there's so many things I'm curious about. Obviously Josh and her will survive. I know that. Do I think she killed his... I don't think it's that simple. I don't think it's that simple. He killed him. Like, maybe Noah was bad and maybe he was doing something bad. And I'm not saying he did, but to me, it's either he did something kind of wrong and maybe Isabella did something wrong to get Rose to kill them, or Josh saw Isabella killing Noah and thought it was her. Or so she didn't actually kill him, but he thought it was, I'm not sure about which one it is, but
I can rule out that he saw Isabella killing and thought it was Rose, because it wasn't.
Okay.
He had mentioned at one point where he point blank asked her and she didn't deny it.
I don't know, girl. I'm just giving you my thoughts.
I'll just say wrong place, wrong time for everyone.
Yikes. I'm so excited to actually see like what that is and to get like the whole scoop on that. I'm very interested to hear about, because I was during that like history section where Rose was in the library reading the books about ISIS. I liked the idea that like she was different women in different periods of history. And I don't know, I liked that, but I was like, I don't know if I think I want to know more about like this, what is it, the Sisters of the Sinister Coven? The bad people that have been like...
The Sisterhood of Sin.
Yes, Sisterhood of... I don't know why I was thinking Coven, but...
They are a coven.
The Sisterhood of Sin. Like, I feel like I want to know more about that, because it's like, we only get it like dabbled in there, but I feel like I want to know more. I feel like I want you to ask me, like, because I don't really... I'm not one of those people who is like active. I feel like if someone asks me, I have thoughts, but like there's nothing readily like I just want to know more, really.
Yeah, I will say there are things in books that'll come up that you will not see coming in work, if as related to the warriors, related to Rose's memories, what she remembers, her relationship with Josh, her relationship with her brother and Eliza, Nathaniel, of course, her memories, how she plays that. Because as far as we know, Nathaniel does not know that Rose remembers everything. He has no. She's been playing him because she's like, well, what do you mean you've been erasing my memories and using me and doing this and doing that? And what the fuck? Don't make me cheat on my mate. Like, what do you mean? You're gonna get something. A little bit. She's like, and just the fact that she's the mistress of fucking darkness. You think you can play her?
Well, because that's very interesting. I will say that's something I was thinking, like foreshadowing, is like, because they also called Isis the mistress of darkness.
Ish.
Like in moments of, or at least in that history section,
mistress. They called her the mistress. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just point out.
And like the whole Nathaniel thing, because like Isis and Nathaniel are together, right? Like that's so the fact that he thinks that they're mates.
Well, Isis and Nathaniel are not mates.
Right. Yes. The fact that he thinks Rose and him are mates is like very disgusting to me, but also at the same time, like...
She like threw that out real quick. She was like, does he think I'm stupid? Like, does he really think I'm going to believe this? In the moment that he says it. So...
But he knows more than she does. There's something about it that like actually makes him think that. You can't tell me anything, dude.
Well, Josh kind of mentions it. Well, she thinks about it. She's like, okay, well, he's telling me this. What has he told Josh for, maybe he said something to Josh to make Josh hate her. I mean, of course, this is before she gets her memories back. That moment where she gets her memories and then comes back and Josh comes home with the flowers. That moment, that night, when they're finally talking about it, right? Finally talking about everything. And she's like, what if Nathaniel had said something to him that made him hate me and kind of like get him out of the picture, you know? Because it's not that Nathaniel thinks they're mates. We know very well that Josh and Rose are mates.
Mm.
And they're not just any mates, they're
Divine.
golden thread mates. So, and Nathaniel knows this too. And Nathaniel said some bullshit about, you know, covering that Josh hadn't met his mate through the normal bonding. So, like, he used that to, like, cover up the fact that he and Rose are mates. That's all bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
That's all lies. He wants Rose's powers, 100%. And it's not that he can kill her to get her powers. He has to, like, you know, sex is important in this world. And it's not just sex, it's bloodlines, blood ties, blood stuff, connections, energetic connections, magical connections, all that. And sex, like when you're having sex with somebody, it's an energy exchange.
Yeah.
Whether it's a little bit or a lot, you know?
I like that.
And them as having magical powers, it's also when mates finally do their whole mating process thing, there is an energy exchange through that. Their magic is shared and it comes into fruition. So they have each other's powers. It's a joining, right? And that's what she says that it is. It's not a reunion, it's a rejoining.
I'm definitely interested to see more of Josh's powers, because the idea that he can't be like mind wiped by Nathaniel was kind of cool. Like, there's definitely like way more to his powers than like.
And Nathaniel kept saying that, what's Josh's power? Like, has he said anything? What's Josh's power? Because just the power imbalance between Rose and Josh that we see, it doesn't make sense for them to, and I established this very early on in the book. Mates balance each other. Mates are chosen that way, where they can handle each other and carry each other and be their divine counterpart, right? Or else you wouldn't be mates. Or else why would I be mated with you? It's not fair.
Right.
You're not my equal. And Rose had that in the beginning, you know? So that's the thing.
I will say something that interests me was the idea that their powers wouldn't hurt the other person.
Right.
I liked that, because like the whole basilisk thing, that he wouldn't be able to hurt her. Just
and
as
that's why the rattle scene was important at the reunion, because while it was like a spicy scene and like, oh my god, scandalous, it was also the only form Josh had never touched anyone in, and no one's allowed to touch him. Like, that was special to Rose, and I thought it was cute that he did that.
I got what that scene was. Because
I need to explain that, because it kind of goes over people's head, because they're like, ooh, rattle.
No, I was literally like, oh no, this is like,
well, I had purpose to it.
This was the first time that he was able to do something for the first time. And he'd said that, like, about, okay, I want a lot of our firsts.
Yeah. We still have a lot of firsts. Yeah.
First to do. It's like,
I love Josh.
My virgin ass was just sitting there, like, after they had sex, and he was still like, yeah, there's still many firsts. And I'm like, wait, what other firsts are there? I was like, is there more? I was like, okay. So overall, I mean, I'll probably have way more to say for the Liar live stream, but it's like, overall, I loved it. I mean, obviously, I'm so excited talking about it, but yeah, like, I'm excited to see more. Obviously, there are going to be more twists and turns, but overall, I think you did an amazing job.
Thank you.
And you should be very proud of yourself.
I had fun doing it.
And especially, I mean, I didn't read the other, like, previous rewrites that you talked about beforehand. This was a really, really good book. And it had me in, and it had me till the end. And I think that the hype is worth, and then especially for even just getting excited about the other duology books and setting up the vampire series and setting up the witches series. You set up an entire, like, that's, I think, what's mind-blowing to me, is setting up this world that I could even just that I'm living in, but that I couldn't even imagine for myself. So awesome. Claps all around.
I'm actually really excited to get back to the vampire series, because I published in 2024, Inheritance. So it's been almost 2 years. I'm not publishing the second book in this year. So we'll see. I'll be working on the timeline for book 2 release this weekend. So hopefully I'll have a date soon for that. And then once I can figure that out, I'll know where I'm at with the vampire series. So
I'm totally excited to read that one as well. Like,
yeah, it's not as much as Azrael's Tilt, and there isn't any spicy scenes in the vampire series. The first 2 books is YA, pretty much, because they're still in high school. So, but yeah, and it's not as overall world stuff, and not so much is happening all at once. I mean, there's still a lot happening, because again, she's a princess, so still the world doesn't stop. But she's also in school, so they're like, you know what? So Liam comes into that. I mean, I know this isn't about Inheritance. Liam comes in there, and he kind of like fights for her, and he's like, let her be a fucking child. You know, she's a fucking child. Let her be a fucking child. We're the adult, you know? So
I would just be sitting there being like, I'm gonna marry that guy. Like, in my brain, I would just be like, anyway.
Liam is material.
Yeah, very. I get why everyone in the ARC team, even before I started getting into it, I was like, yeah, I get it. I love Josh, but I also
favorite for sure.
love Liam too. But yeah, so I want to get into your portion of this.
You ready?
I'm excited for you to ask because honestly, I'm gonna give you these two straight. I didn't even prepare.
Good. I love it when you don't prepare. That's how you learn it. Your role as my narrator.
So yeah, we're gonna go into me and the narrator.
So, as my narrator, I have some questions for you.
I'm excited.
I have some questions that I think people would want to know as, you know, your narrator process, but also I would like to know because I want to know.
It's just selfishly so you want to know.
So, what is your pre-production ritual for getting into a new manuscript?
So,
like, do you have one?
I feel like, again, I think it depends on, if we're saying purely for indie,
Mm-hmm.
I like to be there, I guess like my pre-ritual getting into like, I feel, it depends on where it's at. Because I like to be a lot part of the process, especially when it's indie authors.
Yeah.
Because like I like to hear the phases that it goes through. I like to be a part of the process because if like, let's say in the same vein, I was like there for the re-release.
Okay.
Like you hadn't released it yet, or, you know, obviously in that other spectrum where you were gonna re-release it into this new one. I like the idea of like knowing the behind the scenes because like you wrote that, and even though it's your first draft, I like to see the whole thing. So sometimes if there is like another manuscript or something that not necessarily always behind the scenes, but like I like to be a part of it. That's really what it is.
So like as an alpha reader, like do you want to know the entire manuscript or do you want to know like the ideas or like thought process, what made it onto the book and what didn't?
I feel like being an ARC reader is cool because I get to, and I kind of get to know how the audience thinks of certain characters and whatnot. Obviously, this was my first experience being an ARC reader, but because I kind of just read it when they give it to me.
Right.
But yeah, I think I like that. I've liked this process.
Cool.
Of this.
You get to see like what other people, you know, in the same boat are feeling as well.
Yeah.
That might be insightful.
It makes me feel a part of it. And it's like, because that is important to me reading the book.
Right. Okay. So do you read the entire book first to understand like the emotional arc, or do you prefer to experience the story as you record it to keep your emotions fresh? I know that. You know, when I was writing that scene, I was like, we had this conversation.
This is such an important thing.
Like, some narrators do that, and they say to, you know, keep your reactions fresh for, like, that impact, you know?
And as my friend Henry Kramer would say, I have very opinionated feelings about this, so, like, other voice actors don't come at me. I loathe it when someone does a reaction. I think that that's so inauthentic, because our purpose as actors is like, that's obviously there's some people who have been narrators who never acted, but the ones who do really well have an acting background or have some, and it's like, to me, I've done it where I've done shows every weekend, and the part of the acting bit of it is that you're living in the moment even though you know what's coming up. There, for example, my favorite example is Anthony Palmini in A Court of Mist and Fury for graphic audio. There was a moment where it was the pre-wedding scene, or sorry, it was the Tamlin wedding scene, and he sounded drunk when he entered. And it was a little small detail that Anthony added, because later down the line, when he explains, oh, I was getting drunk with Cassian and Azrael before I heard the call. That kind of stuff is only something that, like, you could add if you'd read it. Right. And especially with these books, like, unless you're reading a nonfiction, okay? We're talking like fantasy.
Right.
There are so many little things everywhere that like you could add your little like, okay, hey, I'm going to pull this out a little bit. Because it's like, obviously you don't want to be like too obvious. This was said later that this is something important that's said.
Right.
And it's like, I really hate when people, so I guess to answer your question, I obviously like to read it first.
I didn't realize how important that was. For me, it's like, as long as you deliver correctly. I don't think that was good, right? I don't know what your process is, but no, that does make sense when you explain it with the whole like drunk scene, because a lot happens in As Worlds Tilt that, you know, like Josh's internal struggle and all that. From that first Josh POV, you don't really, you get a little bit of it, but you don't get the full picture. So I feel like if you did read the whole book, my male narrator listening maybe, you would feel the struggle from early on, and that struggle carries throughout the book, and we need to feel that, we need to hear that from the beginning. Yeah, it starts off with hate, I hate her, blah, 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 but that hate comes from like an internal pain and struggle. So,
and I'm someone who very much believes in the power of the mic. If you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, it's not gonna like come across like as it would, even if you're like a really good actor. It's not gonna come across as much as it would have if you knew the pre-context.
Right.
Like, it's just a better overall performance.
I agree. And sometimes your first initial reaction to a scene is incorrect, you know? Like, you think it's like this, but then when you actually continue reading it, you're like, wait, hold on, I need to go back and do that. So again, reading it first might give you that insight.
Yeah.
It's also kind of like with any job, you have to like do your research, right? A little bit.
I mean, that's the part of it that's fun, though. Is like, right. I mean, again, some people who get into the acting field don't really realize the amount of research that we get, and they're just like, oh, I just want to act. And it's like, that's fun. That's great.
Yeah.
But it's also, it is my job. And it's because I put so much love and effort into it, to the performance, that it's like, that's how it comes across.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So, do you look for anything specific when you're trying to establish a narrator's voice for the story? Like, how do you determine that?
So, obviously, I like to think about tone. You know, this isn't YA, but she's also a young naive at 18 with some experience. It's like figuring out her level of experience beforehand. Yeah. And then figuring out how to change that along the way. Because it's like, especially, which is what I'm so excited to play, Rose, when she starts to starts to get her memories back. Mm-hmm. To me,
a little shift there
would sound a little bit more mature, or maybe not as hesitant, a little bit stronger. And so my first thing would be like, especially establishing her point of view and being like, okay, where are the points where I feel like it shifts? And there's like where she maybe comes out a little bit more, comes into her own a little bit. And then especially even like going further into talking about book 2 when she remembers everything. It's like that will be a complete shift as well.
Yeah.
And so
book 2 will be interesting for me to write because she does remember everything, but she's also struggling with it. So it's like, yes, I'm the fucking Mistress of Darkness, but I'm also just getting my memories back. It's like, and then just dealing with all that. And in book 1, it was like, the prologue is very strong. You see Rose, you see her in her power. And that's pretty much like who she really is. But then it's suppressed, right? Because she doesn't remember. And then she's just a 15-year-old girl.
Yeah, so it's like in that specific instance, I would make her sound way like it's a darker tone.
Yeah. Between
that and then the intro.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that is the shift. And then every time it goes back to his perspective, the Nathaniel, her scenes, like kind of bring that back, but then it would like lighten up further.
Right.
Because she's getting her memory
confused.
And she's fusing again. Yep. So like herself is coming into the scene more so than this other persona.
So this is a more narrator question. How do you protect your voice and maintain your energy levels throughout a long recording session? So like, how long is your longest recording session?
This is such a great question. I mean, I only would probably push it to 3 hours.
Okay.
A day. Because it's a thing where if you go further, and also it depends if you're like going into a studio and you have to like, you're paying for like 3 hours, or like you're going into like, let's say I'm going into the Penguin studio and I have to like go for 3 hours and I have to get like a certain amount done. And it's like, God damn it. Which is why obviously the home studio is the best option, because you get to do it on your own dime and also your own time. But that's kind of the protection. I mean, obviously you probably shouldn't push it because there's obviously going to be dips. And I've noticed this when as soon as I started narrating and I started critiquing other people's performances, you can see the dip where like they went from recording.
So I'm tired.
It's like all of a sudden they have energy and then all of a sudden they're there, but then it dips and then all of a sudden it picks back up again. It's like, oh, so they just switched recording days. Okay. So my whole process is like taking like chapters and chopping them up because you don't want to stop mid-chapter because that's just stupid. Like I'm in the middle of like a scene and it's like, oh, okay, done for today. Like you don't do it off a page count.
Are you gonna need more time? There's 80 chapters in this book, just FYI.
Girl, I've already timed it. I've already set up how many
I
chapters.
have a question about that.
Oh, okay. So it's because you don't want to show that in the recording, because that's gonna pop up, and then it's you want to be at that same level, because even if you feel like you're dipping, you got to keep it the same.
Right. So do you record 3 hours at one, that would be the longest time you'd record all together, or do you break the 3 hours up throughout the day?
It's all at once. So you prep. So I prep the stuff that I the chapters I'm going into, and figuring out not just rereading it again, but I have my notes for it being okay, this is what boom boom boom, this is happening, where I'm leading up to so I know where I'm ending.
Yeah,
and then it's because that will make the recording go smoother, because sometimes when people go in and they brings me back to the whole I don't know what's happening, but you're reading it for the first time thing, which just ticks. If I just end and have no idea where I was going, it's it goes quick. You don't have to go back as much. You don't have to especially if you make notes about pronunciations and characters, and you don't have, it makes the time go quick if you have it prepped, because then no, that's what to me is fucking baffling, when someone does it without doing all that, because if there's so many characters that you're doing, and obviously we're doing this in duet style, so it's not just me, but if it was just me, that'd be so much more work to do prep in terms of who's getting what voice.
Right.
And so obviously that would take more time, but it's if you go in knowing, okay, these characters are showing up, this is the type of vibe I'm giving, blah, 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 and I have it somewhere, then it's that 3 hours could actually turn into 2 if I go in with the right prep.
Right. And since we're talking about prepping and timeline, how do you plan out your recording time to ensure the production timeline is met?
Google Calendars, of course, are your best friend. I have it set up to where the due date's in fucking bold red. And I'm I always want to have it done a week before it's due.
Oh, wow.
I give myself a week, because you never know what's going to happen in your life at some point where it's okay, I didn't record tonight because
you got sick or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Never want to set it up to where you don't have a week of time in between. Because if you set it up and you're just oh, I'm doing it from this day to this day, and there's no extra time, who fucking knows? You might have to do I don't know, 5 hours or something like that. It's because it's professionalism. It's knowing myself and knowing that shit could happen in those few weeks to give me time to do so.
Yeah, I think for me, it's that since we have it planned out for in so much time in advance, if you know right now 1 month is not going to be enough time, because you've read the book, you know how much goes into it and all the characters involved. So after reading it, you're oh shit, 1 month is not enough time. Let me know right now. Not as you're recording in November, it's oh shit, I still have half the book left and it's November 22nd. No.
Which is another reason why people reading it in the moment are people that I really can't fucking understand.
Ask for narrator.
I would sit there. It turned into a Jubilee episode where I'd be wait, how the fuck? Why are you doing this like this? Why are you making your life hell? I don't really. It's not even just an act. It's not even about acting at that point. It's literally just about practical prep. And I'm or just practical timing. Sometimes a word count doesn't actually mean what it said, especially when you're not doing it in a duet. Just because you have it as so many thousand words doesn't mean that it equivalates to so many hours. Because it's I have to change between characters. I have to go deep voice for a guy.
To makes
P.
So we're going to switch gears to character development and technique.
Okay.
How do you approach distinguishing between multiple characters, especially in dialogue-heavy scenes, which we know there's a lot of in Azrael's Tilt, without losing the flow of the narrative overall?
Can I just say I love your questions?
I can't take credit for all of them. Gigi did help me with that.
Love you, Gigi. First of all, I'm someone who, when I grew up reading, I automatically did this, and this is something that a lot of narrators struggle with, is that back. Maybe it's because I'm a little crazy, who knows, but because in my brain, I have it already set up as a back and forth. It's
chills from your audition, girl.
Which is what, because those scenes I really thrive in, because it's I am talking to myself, but I am really living in it as I'm like switching in a moment. Anthony Palmini, love him to death, said this during his Quicksilver interview, the one me and Ryan went into in person.
Yeah.
And he said it as like, there was no breaks. There was no, okay, I'm going to pause, take breaks. And then, no, it was literally a flow of narration, quote, 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 narration, quote.
I feel like that's not something you can practice or train. I feel like that's just a skill set that you're born with, like your brain just has to keep up with that. and like, yeah, you can practice and, train and go to acting class and all that. But like some people just have pure fucking talent and it shows.
Because that's really what it is. Like the distinguishing of characters is like, I did the prep. I know that when I'm talking at Rose, but then when I'm talking as like Crystal or Vanessa, like there's a different vibe.
Yeah.
And going in between them is like, I'm imagining it as I'm like in a play. It's like, okay, so I'm like cool girl. And then all of a sudden I'm just like, I'm Rose, kind of like a little timid, but not weak, but okay, I'm uncomfortable by this I'm thinking about the tea scene in particular.
Yeah.
Just because, see, even there, it's like already can like tell like the awkwardness of like, okay, so that's really what it is. And that is hard, and I'm glad that you notice it, because that is something that's hard for a lot of narrators to do. And especially,
my only experience is with you, really. But the point is, like, I've seen you do it in real time, which is insane. Because I mean, you had the little descriptions about the characters and who they are and their vibes a little bit, but like, I don't think you did like an actual like a read through out loud until you did it for me, right? On our call. So yeah, so just seeing you do it in real time was like phenomenal.
It's because, like, I imagine it as a movie, and maybe that's what it comes. It's like, so it's like, because I'm a very firm believer in, if you feel it, it comes across. Because this is a medium where you're not seeing face and you're not seeing like body language or like how someone looks. You take out all the other senses and you only have one thing. And if I feel, it's kind of like when my mom says I made this with love. It's like, if you do the book with love and you play the scene as like, you're thinking of it as like, I think it comes across. Like, that's what I really feel.
Oh my gosh, I had a question. I just lost it. Oh. It wasn't on our list.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Oh, okay. So you said, you think about it like a movie and you're like, that when you're reading it, it's like a movie playing in your mind. So would it help you to have visuals of like what the characters look like?
Oh yeah. Anything like that is amazing. So that's why like I kind of loved being, why I loved being a part of the ARC read and being able to see something. Visually seeing it even helped me read it, especially as just being like, yeah, no, that's how I imagine it. Okay.
Cool, because like my creative team is very busy.
And also like
we'll give you the scoop before we even release it if we need to.
So. And also seeing the scene play out, I even love those moments where you saw a little bit, like the makeout scene, or whatever. Yeah. It's like visually seeing it for me also does like
holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you already kind of answered the next question, which was what's your process for finding a character's voice? I feel like you already answered that. So do you draw inspiration from people you know, or do you build it on the descriptions in the book, or both?
It's always based on someone, whether or not it's a TV character, whether or not it's someone I know in real life. Because obviously I can pull from descriptions, but like when you're pulling from a description to really feel it, I feel like I gotta pull from something I know.
Something that means something to you.
Because again, I can think of like some burly, like, or let's be real. Thinking about Gadanya, for instance. I could think of like two girls like her, like in real life, who I'm just like, yep, nope, that's her. I was thinking about, that's Starsha. That's a friend from college who I knew, who I was like, yep, nope, they've actually asked for that three-way that I was like, no. So that's for real.
Be clear, Daniel never asked. Daniel was curious.
Yes. No. So yeah, it's like both. It's both, but also for me, I really need to pull it from something, from some sort of media.
Yeah, and it's also like a good example. It's like, how would this person act in this situation? And if you know the person well enough, you can also like play that.
Because we have a bunch of different heroines, but it's like, okay, what one resembles it for me in a way I feel like makes the character resonate with what's written.
Okay, so switching to genre stuff. Romantasy often involves a lot of high intense stakes and emotional scenes. How do you handle the spiciness or intense tensions while ensuring it still feels grounded and authentic to the story. That was a long one. Sorry.
No, don't apologize. It's like, romantasy is something I really love, and it's funny because the normal audiobook community does not really know about it. It's becoming more popular.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I feel like it's the most genuine, at least in the ones I've read. Because sometimes when you're reading a smut book just for it, honestly, that's harder for me to be grounded in that than a scene that was built up. Again, I don't know why the fuck I'm bringing Anthony up so much, but it was
Anthony.
it was something that he said that is what I was basically going to say, but I'm giving him credit for, was the idea that there was like a build up to the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, like in a lot of these books, like there's just a scene and that like there was no build up and it was just sex.
There's no emotion.
That's what makes it feel grounded, is the fact that like we've been through with these characters and like we get it and that there is a build up to the scene.
You're living with them, so yeah.
And it's so the tension is so fun to play like in between scenes, to be flirty while at the same time, especially with Rose, being like insecure while at the same time being defensive. Then still valid and still wanting it, but that's like there's so many emotions there that it's like that's the fun in portraying it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Dark fantasy often requires a very specific atmospheric tone. Do you do anything different to set the stage in your mind before stepping into the booth to capture that darker, moodier vibe? Do you put yourself in a certain mind space, listen to certain kind of music to get there?
It's definitely, yes. I feel like it's multiple things, especially depending on the scene. I will say I hate the method acting vibe. Also, Henry and I both agree on this. I hate the feeling of putting myself in a mind space. I know that's not what you said, but it's like, oh, I'm going to remember, I don't know. Let's just say, for instance, we're getting to a scene where someone was the Nathaniel scene and like the uncomfortability with that and being, the inappropriate touching. Cause like someone, a method actor would be just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna remember the time I got touched really. It's like, no, we don't have to like
go do that.
No, we don't have to go that far. Like,
you don't have to go sending me therapy bills.
You can, that's the part of the actor you're supposed to portray it as. So for the dark fantasy, obviously it's a fun balance between, because obviously she is young, also still making like the tone of it, feel tense, but also a suspense of like what's going to happen next. And so I feel like it all depends on what scene I'm going in for today, which goes back to the prep. Mm-hmm. If I know I'm going into a scene where I'm going to Coilspire and it's kind of like this fantasy week, it's going to be a little bit lighter than it would have been the whole time, because that's their escape. That's their home. Like in the mindset of the character, that's they're away from the darkness. So that to me would be like a lighter, obviously it's still overall dark fantasy, but that's the shit, and finding those little nuanced shifts is like really the main thing.
Yeah, and it's good, like, even with dark fantasy and dark romance, you need those lighter moments in there. You need the comic relief. You need the safe space in the book.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just trauma all around, because it's like, damn, dude. Because finishing the book and just like, what the fuck? Go read something late.
And I feel like sometimes people will get stuck in like, I'm gonna just sound kind of depressed. No, it's not depression. It's more just, again, it's kind of hard to convey like in a sense, but just kind of like this anxious, subtle tension vibe, but trying to be strong for like others, but then also at the same time, like I'm a strong, independent woman, but also I can be insecure about these things, and but also like I want to fucking kill that girl. But I have to be kind to everyone.
Right.
It's a lot,
Yeah.
and honestly, I think that's where. Sorry to just kind of bounce off my own idea. I think that's where living in the moment of the scene makes it the most authentic. Because it's like, the scene, what's happening. I think that's where I like to think about where that tone is. I imagine myself in that room, experiencing that and being like, I experience myself as Vanessa, I experience myself as Rose, and be like, why do I feel uncomfortable about these in different ways? Like,
yeah, no, that makes total sense. Okay, so going back to what you were talking about being part of the process and how much you enjoyed that, how much do you value direct input from the author during the recording process? Because I like to be involved. Do you prefer a collaborative approach, or do you like to have your creative freedom to interpret the text?
Interesting. I mean, especially like in an indie format, because a lot of time in trad, and when you're doing it with like Penguin or something, They obviously have a director who's doing it through the lens of the image of what the author wants. Like, the author isn't directly involved most of the time. So I guess, like, through the indie author lens, I mean...
The author is the director?
Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily have to be with me in the recording, because, like, a director would be with you in the recording booth telling you, like, oh, this sounded good, or you should try this.
November stuff.
I mean, it's also fun to watch the...
Oh, yeah.
I feel like for me, I don't... Because sometimes it's like a thing where, getting really practical here, we'll send like a couple sentences of the character and be like, this is the vibe we're giving for it.
Gotcha.
Do you like this?
Gotcha.
And then it's like, if you do, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to keep that. And especially like listening to it throughout the process, like, okay, I'm doing chapters 1 to 5 today. Here they are, uploaded into whatever Drive box folder we're doing it. And it's like, especially because we're doing this duet, it's kind of hard because like you don't get to hear the whole thing
till the end. Yeah.
So it's like, that's where we'll put like pronunciation guides in there. So it's normally the person who sets up. So the person who's narrating most of it will like set, even though you have pronunciations, like it'll be set in my voice in the Drive somewhere. And then like we'll put in characters, because I'm also trying to listen to quote unquote male narrator and how he's responding. Sorry, going back to like the actual question. Obviously I like input in those things. I guess like where the creative part in me is like, I don't know if necessarily wanting to be like in the studio space while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But the idea of like, oh, I've done with something for today. Here, listen to these files and see if you like. Because if there's something you don't like, that's part of the process of being like, hey, what, during edits and corrections and stuff like that. Besides like just normal, hey, I had a dyslexia moment. I said the and of, whatever. I'm just a very collaborative person. So it's like setting up those things beforehand are very important to see if you like it. Cause then I could just imagine getting to the end of it. We're getting to like, cause I'm thinking about this in the author perspective. We're almost at the due date and I'm sending you all these things, but you haven't really even gotten a chance to look at that. And it's like, you don't have much time to be like, hey, I thought you could have played this a little bit differently, or maybe that's not
much time to like go back and make corrections.
So you just have to do it how it's said. Or if like there's something on your end where you really want to make some of these scenes really hit and it just didn't seem like they were hitting. And I feel like every narrator's different. Sometimes they just like give you the files and it's like, unless there's corrections on it, like this is what I'm giving you.
Yeah, that's interesting. I do like that you do like that little file in the beginning to get the characters down, because that would also, validate how they're supposed to sound like, and in the other director. It's like, I don't want to obviously like control how you do your process, and because if that was the case, then I would just narrate it myself, right? Yeah. And obviously I don't want to do that. So, and I loved your work already, so I'm trusting that. And same with the male narrator. Obviously your work is your resume.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know what I'm getting into. I know like you're not gonna like do a terrible job where I'm like, oh no, I need to go back and do this whole thing again. I don't, maybe like some stuff here and there, or like a reaction scene that didn't hit, stuff like that. So I do like hey, I finished these files, check these out. And it's like, I think like having somebody in the booth with you is also added pressure, like, because it's like, let the person do their thing, like, I don't need somebody watching me as I write the scene,
Yeah, it's sometimes the director is normally there for like, because especially in like a graphic audio sense, the director's there because they knew how Anthony responded and they'll hit it the same way that he did to give me the back and forth.
100%.
Without, so it's like they're there for like a purpose, but they're also not there sitting there judging it.
The whole thing.
It's more just like, oh, I really liked the way you played that. What if you played it this and maybe you'll like this better? And they're more of collaborative too. That's why I especially love the Penguin directors.
Interesting. There's so much that goes into the behind the scenes that we don't know about.
So much, yeah.
Okay. So, has there been a moment in your career where an author's feedback completely changed how you approached a character? Or have you always just hit it spot on because you're that good?
So I will say So I went in for an audition for the Dark Queen one that I was telling you about. And I didn't actually know going into that book how much she was like, because I was thinking she was like a villain, but not a dark British queen. And so when I got asked to do it cause like when I was reading it, I took it a different way. And then like when we're in we're in the audition part of it, and she had me read it cause I prepared for it. Yours was a cold read. Theirs was,
I just put you on the spot.
hers was like, I prepared for it. And then it's like, as soon as she told me that, it like, I was like, fuck, that was not at all what I was thinking. I was thinking more of like a subdued. No, she's like full on villain. Again, I didn't get all that information until we got in the room, but I was like, oh fuck, okay, I gotta change this on the fly real fast. And then like, she really loved it when I just went but it was, thinking that there's obviously more to the surface, but she's an evil queen. But there was like one moment in that audition dialogue where like, she's having an inner monologue of despair and bringing that more out, because that's originally how I feel like she would have been.
Yeah.
And then, so it's like I brought what I thought before into it, but then changed everything else.
Worked.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, authors would do that a lot though, where they're just like, yeah, that's not how like the character would go. And it's like, I'm gonna, change. That's fine. I'm just sitting there like, that's not what I was thinking.
Not from reading it. That's interesting. So, what do you hope listeners take away from your performance? Is there a specific emotion or atmosphere you are constantly striving to evoke from your readers or listeners?
This is such a great question. I mean, God, don't want to monologue to you for 30 minutes. I'm like, because of just being such a fan of books, and like it got me through like a lot of my own audiobooks specifically,
right,
getting me through my own shit at 18. I don't know, the idea of being a Rose character for someone else listening to it is beyond fucking belief. And so like, would I want someone to get away from any performance of mine, whether it's singing, whether it's audio, whether it's like a performance, I want them to like feel empowered to do what they want to do, whatever it is in life. And it doesn't have to be in narration. Like it could literally be like these. Yeah. I mean, honest shit. You want to have a 3-way? Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Like, sex empowerment, or just, especially because I grew up in like the corn-fed Midwest, where it's like, especially empowering women in like a sexual way to be allowed to feel free to want to have sex.
That it's okay to have sex and want to have sex.
Yes. Yeah, or like be celibate because you're gonna get like AIDS. That's what they would always tell, like, we were just gonna get some horrible fucking disease. And I was like, that was
a non-issue because we weren't even supposed to be having sex until we got married, so. Then you have like one person for the rest of your life.
That's boring.
Until you have enough kids, and then he doesn't want to sleep with you anymore, and then you sleep in separate rooms. That's how the show goes.
Girl, that was like, yeah, it's like seeing someone's entire life play out before them. But it's like, I feel like my atmosphere, I also like to, it's something, it's funny, like, I told this to the Penguin people before I like entered into the internship with them, or mentorship.
Yeah.
And my love for like storytelling was like way before even just narrating the books out loud in my room by myself. It was, my friends used to like, I remember one particular moment where I would just tell stories about me in life, and I wasn't even like trying to play up something. Like I was literally just talking. Right. And like every pair of eyes on me just locked in, listening to my story, having those ups and downs, having those tear-filled moments of like something sad, or feeling them happy, or like, you know, laughing along with me, or what, like that is the end all goal. Being able to feel all of those things in a story, and those ups and downs, because it's like that, even thinking back on it gives me chills, because it is a power of a voice.
Oh, yeah.
To even feel like, again, I don't even know how many years down the line I'm gonna feel this way, but it's, especially with my other friends who are 10 years into their narration careers and they're still the most humble as fuck people.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, yeah, like, Anthony is one, he bugs me, but also because, like, I've gotten more into it, I'm like, yeah, fuck, I know what you're talking about. Because you get all this praise, and then it's like, no, I just really love the idea that someone feels anything listening to my voice. That just blows my fucking mind.
I hope you keep that with you for as long as you exist or
Yeah.
narrate at least.
No, it really does.
The feeling never gets old, I feel like.
Mhm.
I mean, just like with publishing books, you know, like this is like every time I get a physical copy in the mail, I'm just like, oh my God, like this is a real book.
And you
And
did
it's just,
that.
yeah, it's just so unreal. So I'm assuming that's kind of similar to how you feel when someone's like, you know, your voice did this for me or whatnot. And there have been narrators and audiobooks. Like, had I read Fourth Wing, just read it, it would have been nice. I don't know. I didn't read it first, right? So I experienced the graphic audio, and I was at a very low point in my life when I discovered Fourth Wing, and it gave me life. And so that's exactly, like, this question is great, I think, because that's exactly what I would hope my narrators do for my book, because it's just so impactful. Because, like, Fourth Wing, and I'm not the only person right now, like, there's a whole fandom out there, like, Fourth Wing the graphic audio changed people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just, you know, for those narrators, I hope they know how much that means and how humbling that should feel, because it's people's lives. Like you hold people's lives in your hands. Like, how wild is that?
It goes back to the moment of the prep thing,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, that's why I give it my all. It's not just like, even though this is a job, it's not just a job. Because it's like, again, we've talked about this off camera, but the whole my belief system of feeling like I was meant to be a performer. God put me on this earth to be this and like make people happy and make people, you know, feel and get inspired and get empowered. And like, that's why I put the effort into it. So that's why when oh, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Oh, I was just adding. I love that.
I mean, so that's why it bugs me when, again, and I really am hitting those narrators hard. That's why it bugs me, because to me, it's like, it's more than just a job. It's an art form. And to see someone not put as much, again, they don't have to put as much like zhuzh or love into it as maybe I do, but to not prep it is like, doesn't do me justice, doesn't do the author any fairness, and also doesn't do the people any justice.
I mentioned this when we were having our first meeting in January, how important it was for my narrators to love this world, because you're going to be in it for a minute, especially you. But the other narrators, you know, as the books progress, as the books change, whoever I bring on onto the project, it's important that they don't just see it as a job, even though it is. Mm-hmm. But it's like, this is my baby. I am giving you my baby to bring to life. So please treat it with respect, you know? So it kind of, that was always important for me to find not just narrators, but everyone involved in my team, in my production, whether it's my PA, whether it's my permanent street teams, like, I need to feel that obsession before I bring you on.
Well, and that's what's beautiful about the indie author space. Because, I mean, there's some authors who just, they're going to throw it into a director's hands in like a trad sense and just like, oh, you'll find the people and da-da. You're setting up your own world and your own people. And I feel like obviously those audiobook narrators who do it in trad are great. And the authors who they're paying a service for Penguin Random House to do their book. But it's like, there's not as much, it's like mom's cooking versus like the Michelin cooking. You know, like that's how I feel about it. It's like,
that's a really good analogy.
it's good. It's like 5 stars because you know, like you paid a high price for it, but it's like, it's never gonna be mom's. That's how I feel about this. It's like there's 2 different areas of the space, and neither of them are bad. But it's like, that's why I always the indie author space, because it's more collaborative.
Yeah, and it's just like fun to watch it come to life, you know, and just working with the narrators who are doing that. Because it's like, not that I want to like see everything that's behind the scenes, because sometimes you just don't need to know how the sausage is made, you know. But
you don't have to see me get
like just like involving the author as part of the process, because at the end of the day, you're still watching.
No, I was just thinking, you don't have to see me prepare for the rattlesnake scene.
Please,
or the rattlesnake. You don't need to see my prep.
I don't need to know what you do.
I just remember Kaya during one interview. I remember like when she said that she was doing a sex scene, she would grab the padded walls or something. I remember she said something like that. And it's funny because I only have like one wall. So mine's more kind of just like, I just into one wall. So it's you do not need to see the prep for the rattle scene.
Like, girl, I don't think I want you to do this anymore.
It's like, actually, this is being too collaborative. I'm sorry. Like, I did not need to know about that.
Okay, so a fun bonus question. Do you listen to your own audiobooks once they're released, or is that too weird to hear yourself back, especially like the spicy scenes?
Okay. I mean, this is a great answer. Because of my podcasting, if I didn't have that before getting into narrating, I feel like I would feel so uncomfortable listening to my own voice. Like, besides even the sex scenes. Like, I would just, because I always felt like I always sounded way deeper.
Me too. I hate hearing myself on voice.
Honestly, my singing...
my ears.
No, really, like, I feel like that is a trend where people do sound themselves, like, they think they sound deeper than they are. And it's like, I sound like a man on the phone. And sometimes I don't like, that was what surprised me the most when getting podcast fans. I was like, you like listening to this shit? I was like, what is it about, like, you? I mean, and that's great. I'm glad people like hearing me, but I was like, I didn't like hearing me. And so I think I just got so used to editing it because I was the only one, I was editing it, all the audio. So I just got used to it. And like, okay, I figured out about the sex scenes, and Lisa helped me figure this out, by the way. First time I started doing demos and I was doing like a spicy scene. And I cannot be in the room when someone's listening to it. I think that's where I start to get weirded out by it. I think
totally. I totally get that, because whenever people are reading or commenting about the spicy scenes or talking in the group chats about the spicy scenes, I'm like, I'm shy. I'm gonna skedaddle. Or like, so I had a narrator who did a little snippet of, it wasn't even a huge spicy scene, but it was a moment for the spicy scene, and my street team went crazy, and they were like, "Oh my god, it's so hot!" All that. I'm just like, shy. Like, I love that.
It's fun to experience it, especially if you do it in duet. Like, because like obviously when you're narrating it just by yourself, you know what it sounds like. I think like the curiosity in me likes it when I get to hear the end product for something that's a duet style or like a multicast. Oh, yeah. But I just can't listen to it if someone else is there. Like if
like
I'm
in my space, let me have my moment by myself.
So in that particular moment, I had to like leave the room for Liesl to read or listen to the rest of my demos at that point. This was like a year ago by now. And when I had those, I was like, girl, I really can't look at you while I can't be here.
Oh, we got it.
So I feel like that's my boundary. I can't be in the room whilst, or knowing that someone's listening. I'm like, no.
The way I relate.
Because it's free. Honestly, I think that's a great, like, you know, I can listen up to a point. I can listen to it when it's done. I can, you know, by myself.
Like,
but
when I write it, I'm blushing as I write it. Okay, people don't believe this because they're like, you wrote that shit. And I'm like, I know, but I was blushing and laughing and giggling. Like, it took me a minute to get to the scene because I was having moments because I was like, oh my god, this is wild.
Yeah, no, I 100%.
And then it's like written, it's printed, and it's out there. When right before the arcs went out, I had a little panic moment because I was like, holy shit, people are gonna read this. Are they gonna judge? Because this is also my first like spicy book, right? Like, I haven't written anything like this prior,
which is baffling. That like is crazy because it is really
good. It was just building up.
You're like done with this YA shit. Now I have to do something that's like way more.
But once I got the groove of it, I was like, huh. I'm actually good at this. I feel like I'm good at this. I think I'm good at this. And then arcs were going out. I'm like, holy shit, no, wait, no. But it's already out.
And that's what's
then I just had to go hide.
And I know you didn't like, but I mean, I am comfortable talking about it, but that's what I feel like the most difficult part would be for someone who's does romance, like narration, or like to someone on the outside that would look very embarrassing, like when you're doing it in studio.
Yeah.
I know you didn't, but I'm like, I also don't mind talking. So maybe it's because I've done so much in live theater where like, this is like a story for another day, but like basically my senior show was called Tipping the Velvet, and it was a lesbian Victorian drama where I had to have sex with 3 girls all at different points, and we had to make out, there was like a dildo involved, like it was a whole thing. And so I am ever since doing that in live.
You can do everything. Anything.
Say just on a mic and just like, you know.
That's yesterday. So easy.
I'm dead. Yeah. So it's like, I don't have any problem doing a romance scene because like, it's clear you're in the moment of, cause there's a build up. I think it's the worst when there's no build up and you have to like, cause I was Oh my god, there was one where I did it where it's like, and it's no offense to the writer, but like he was a man, and it was just like a sorry. It was like a moment of there was all of a sudden like fuck me in the ass, and then it took me forever to get that line correctly because I just kept laughing. Like there was like I was trying to make it sound sexy as fuck, but I was like, all of a sudden you just hear them saying like "fuck me in the ass, fuck my pussy," and I'm like, how do I say this without like? Because at some point I think I go because I was trying to moan afterward, and then I go like, the moan turned into like a, and I was hold up, pause. I had to pause my recording and be like, the fuck was that?
Take 700.
And I was like, oh my god, how, like, at this point, I'm like doing this in the dead of night, my neighbors are asleep, and it's like, I know they can't hear, it's a padded room, but if they did, oops. No, I'm single.
It was a long night.
My god. It's something like my dad said where I started doing this kind of stuff, and he'd be like, no one thinks there's a man in there. I'm like, Daddy?
At least your dad has faith in you.
Like, oh, you don't have to worry about it. No one would think.
Busting through the doors. Like, who's in there? Someone's like, swinging my vibrator. Sorry.
Dads don't know about. Well, fuck. Okay, dads don't think the daughters have those nightstand. No, but yeah.
I mean, to my defense, toy is better than a man. And
girl, I need to go to the store because like I've never been, and like I really need to go.
If you ever come up to a few stores, they're old and whatever.
Oh, ew.
It's weird. I don't believe I went into those. Yeah, everyone should experience it.
It's the idea of going into a live store with a live person.
It's so awkward. I was just no one has to know.
And just looking
at the cashier, and I would like to buy these. Like, don't look at me.
And then all like this big, and then it's like not looking at the person, just being like, yeah. Anyway, goodbye.
It's not easier when you go in with somebody else, or if you go in with the person that you're doing shit with. Take care of it. You just go skin out.
Right. It's like, you buy my pads all the time.
Why am I even here? You could have just bought this by yourself and
So I think in that same vein, it's the same thing as the live stuff. It's like, okay, a live scene would make me way more insecure than if it's like obviously on a recording. Because in a recording, I get to live in my own world. Like, right. I'm imagining fucking Chris Evans and, you know, whoever the fuck I need to, or like what I imagine as Josh. And like, and it's like in in like that sphere, and obviously you don't need a man. Like, you don't need that person to be there, like, in that light. Because if it was a real man and he was like a real Chris Evans, I'd just be like, yeah, so we're gonna do this sex scene. I really can't look at you. This made me so happy, girl. I mean, to be able to like talk about this again, I love you. I love your book. I love that we get to have this collaborative experience, and that we're going to be with each other for a while.
At least a 10-year contract.
Which is like, to me, I'm just
define timeline.
We're just going to like see so much as it progresses, and I can't wait for the audience to hear it. Because it's like, honestly, to me, sometimes I will pick up something in an audio that I never picked up on a reread. And I'm like, wait! Why did this get brought? Or like, I heard this and I was like, Like, especially when you read that ending of the Shanes, I was like, oh, damn it. That made me change about what I thought about that. Okay, damn.
Yeah, it's funny because, like, whenever someone throws a theory out in the group chats and whatnot, I always go in and refute it and play the devil's advocate and then make them rethink everything, their whole life choices.
So again, this is why...
Like, yeah, I'm not telling you the answer, but I'm just asking, like, what if this was the case? But this happened. Like, Josh said this, Nathaniel said this, so that doesn't work.
This is why we hate you. I hate out of love, but still, I want to force choke you. Give me the answers! Like, but yeah, and obviously, we'll talk another time. We'll have moments, we'll obviously have our live stream on this, which is going to be fun. But yes, so thank you guys for watching our special little author narrator. So please, again, obviously I'll put the your socials and your link tree in the description again. Also, there is a soundtrack. There is a soundtrack for this book, and again, I'll link it specifically. It's fucking dope. It's great.
I love the lyrics.
I was listening to it.
I love the songs. Yeah,
I was listening to it the entire time I was reading.
Awesome.
and it was just on loop. I think you even brought it up, didn't you? And like in some part of Kiss the Serpent was like in the book. Like I caught that.
Yeah. The band, well, not all bands, the bands and the songs, Kiss the Serpent and Sin and Silk, they're in the book.
Yeah, I was like, obviously because my timing doesn't work. They weren't playing while I was listening to that part, but I was like, damn.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm going to come out with like a song plus scene kind of thing on socials, so I can be like, hey, so I was like thinking of this song. This song came from this scene, and this, or it was mentioned in this scene, or whatnot. And some of the songs on the album are actually for book 2. So yeah, I just put them together.
You heard it here. I'm getting like, sorry, because I was thinking. Well, and I also I'm poor as fuck, so I don't have Spotify Premium, so I can't like pick the song. Like I just gotta listen to the playlist. So I wanted to press it, and I was like, oh god, I don't want to pay the monthly.
Oh, just send you the files, girl. What do you mean?
No, I know, but I had to have the struggle. You know what I mean? It had to be authentic. It had to be authentic for it to get pulled up. But yes, please follow our TikTok, Instagram, Facebook for more updates. And obviously we'll be on live stream from now on, trying to do twice a month. So we'll see you guys all in the next episode. Thank you so much again.
Yeah, this was super fun.
So, yes. Bye-bye, guys.
All my struggles have crumbled away. My heart shattered piece by piece each day. Your betrayal has left me lifeless inside, like a wilted flower that slowly died. Let this love be buried in silence deep, in memories that I cannot keep. Red rose with thorns, you bear my pain for the love I gave.